Our people like to talk that king stuff. I personally don't talk like that, but our culture does talk like that. And as soon as you get here and she treats you like a king, you start bowing down. What up, what up, what up? What's happening? Que lo que miente. Welcome to Love, Purpose, and Passports. Hope all is well and all are passport ready, a passport getting ready. For those of you that don't know, I am Mr. Pro for you living in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Let's get right to it. Since I've been outside the US, it's like I have a front row seat to the greatest show on earth. And I call it that because it's a three-ring circus. And under the big top, the climate for men has become the softer you are, the better things will be for you. And there's a veiled thread hanging around in there. It's like American culture is attempting to groom men into being masculineless. When you look at some of these dating shows, the women say they're looking for their person or their partner instead of looking for their man. That's not a thing here. We talk a lot about learning the culture and how important it is, how it helps you understand what things mean. And not only does it give you the ability to process things correctly, it enables you to communicate through your actions correctly. You want to represent yourself in the best light so you get the best outcome. And I'm talking about with women in particular. Don't come here being soft. The problem is we, American men, have been put on blast for the world to see that masculinity for men has been suspended indefinitely there. And if you're still pushing a masculine frame, congratulations, you're an outlaw. But don't come here being soft. The women know and will test you. Besides that, they also know you get here deprived of being in the company of the feminine spirit. So you're thirsty for it, dying of thirst, and that's fine. That's a condition that you can wake up from when you get your dosage up. But the testing your masculinity part is a little bit more detrimental to your experience overall if you fail. I'm going to tell you like this. You can see me laughing and joking with my wife when we do our vids together. You can hear me talking about loving my wife and some of the early experiences that had me off balance in a good way because I wasn't used to that. But trust and believe, my wife knows that I can be sweet and affectionate with her, but ain't no lack of masculinity in how I carry myself on a daily basis. And she loves that. Can it be too much for her sometimes? Yeah, but it's supposed to be. Everything has ranges. Just like if you're soft, you get too soft sometimes. Whole masculine image gone for good. But don't get me wrong, you can be a gentleman. Men are gentlemen here. Look, when me and my wife are in public and we get out the car in parking lots, I grab her hand and she knows I'm guiding her through traffic and crowds. If I open the door for her and it's clear, she goes in. If I see that it requires me to create space with my presence, I have her hand and shift her behind me and I create that space so she can walk through comfortably. But that's just an example of moving in masculinity. And I'm not talking about fake bravado, although that's better than nothing. You got to start somewhere. And here's a tip in case you missed it. I don't know about other countries, but here in the Dominican Republic, hold your woman's hand when you're crossing the street. And anywhere else you feel the need to protect her. Holding her hand is not just for walking through a park full of butterflies. So like I was saying, you can be a gentleman, but don't come here being a gentleman. It's not going to translate right. Why? Because their culture ain't mass producing gentlemen. When you do that, you're being something they heard about. And what they heard about is what you're trying to get away from. Don't come here being soft. You get here, and I'm talking about in the dating and mating phase. You get here, and as soon as she puts the femininity on you in all this feminine glory, you want to jump up and get in the way instead of sitting there and letting her take care of you because you're uncomfortable with being treated like a man. Women here take pride in seeing you enjoy being served and taken care of by them. When you get in the way of that by getting up and doing it yourself, you poisoning the well. When you get in the way of that, your nonverbal communication is telling her to stop. I mean, you're both aware that you come from two different cultures. So she's taking yours in and you're taking hers in. Then you interrupt it. You're interrupting the reason for the season. That's because you don't know any better and your deficit is deeper than you think. So appreciate it. But don't come here being soft. Appreciating the beautiful woman that you have doesn't mean you start matching her way of treating you. She's treating you like she's a woman and you're a man. See, they erased that in the States. When my wife wakes me up, She wakes me up with what she calls little kissies. You think I'm gonna wake her up like that? It's gonna come off different if she ain't feminine, you know what I'm saying? She be like, yeah, well, all right, homie, you know what I'm saying? That thing good, I mess with you, homie. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. You don't want that.
I give him morning kissies, right? And I do it so much that now he's just like, all right, kiss me. You know, like
I ain't finna be giggling with that.
No.
You know, I'll go ahead and confirm that happens. You know, I'm not doing that, but I will lovingly crush her when I hug her. I'm talking about grab her up and crush everything, including the implants. Pop the implants. We implant poppers around here. We ain't doing no wake up kissies. Pop the implant and she'll feel the love. You get here and she's treating you like a man. You have the urge to soften up. No. She treats you like a man. Receive it like a man. Our people like to talk that king stuff. I personally don't talk like that, but our culture does talk like that. And as soon as you get here and she treats you like a king, you start bowing down. So you immediately start rebuilding what you were trying to get away from. That's the same thing trauma does. Wants something different, but recreates the thing it hated. Don't come here being soft. You said you wanted a cooperative woman because you didn't have one. So when you finally get one, you're so happy to not be competing with your woman that you start deferring as a sign of gratitude instead of leading. If she's cooperative and you immediately start cooperating, you cancel the purpose out. After you, no after you, no after you, no after you. This is why I said you need to get here, get in a relationship, and practice your leadership as a man, not your leadership as a partner. There's no such thing. And I'm not saying be cold or a dictator, but being loving doesn't mean being soft. I value my wife. I value her talents. I value her beauty. I value her intellect. I value her opinion. I value her femininity. All the qualities she has, I'm blessed that she's mine, and she is mine. But if I was running around being soft, it doesn't translate like that here. My father-in-law, her pops, wouldn't respect me. He ain't soft. Don't come here being soft or it won't go well for you. She gives you feminine energy, you give her back masculine energy. Love, purpose, and passports. Peace.